DBT has a very organized and clean folder structure. As you can see here, it has analysis, logs, macros, models, etc. So, for example, analysis. Analysis is a group of queries or SQL files which you used to query or explore the transformed data to answer specific questions or to generate reports. And macros, it is similar as the user-defined functions in DBT. So all the functions here can be reused and called by other data models. Since models are the most important part, then let's start with data model. DBT provides two data models. For example, let's look at the first one, my first DBT model. So in this file, this is how it defines the model. The first one, it is optional. It said that the materialized as table. So because it want to use that the different setup than in this file as project level. You see in this project level, materialized is set as view. So in this data model, it want to set that the materialized as table. So for whatever that the setup here, it will override that the setup in this project level. And then the second part, it is just a select statement, which is written in CTE format. What is CTE? CTE stands for Common Table Expression, which means you use this some kind of a specific name and to represent the temporary select results. And then in next one, you can select from this temporary result as a table. So for example, select all from the source data. Let's check what is in the next one. So in this next model, it is select all from the first model. So from here we can see that in one model it can reference. It can use another data model as a reference. So which means that the data model we created can be reused. This is very cool. Since we already have two data models here, actually, all those files, this DBT is already ready to use. Let's use DBT run to see how it works. We can say it found two models. Those two models is defined, we can see, and those two models will succeed. And first one is create a table in this here. The second one is create a view. So why the first one is create a table? It's because, as I mentioned, this materialized all those as table. So it is create a table. But why the second, it is view, it is not table? Because second doesn't have the extra configuration. So it use by default, it use the configuration which is in project level, which is materialized. Materialized is is shown as a view. So that's why you will see view model, and then the first one is table model. Say those two models are successful, then let's say verify from the Snowflake. And before we go that, we will have some expectation. We should see one data model in one table in this public, and also another view in this public schema. Let's go to the database and refresh, and see in this table we should be able to see the first data model, yes, and the second should be in the view, yes it is. And also back to this DBT, we also can verify from this target. So when we go to the target has one compiled query. So this compiled query is the real query which is executed in the Snowflake. Let's say the first one, we can say if we run this exactly the same as in the Snowflake, it should work. Let's go to here, run this query, create a new one, and then let's run it. And okay, it says no warehouse selected. Okay, we show it is successful. And then for the next one, let's see what is that the compiled SQL. Compiled SQL, it is select all from this database name, schema, public, and also table. Let's run this from here, and we run. Yes, it's also successful. The compiled SQL query script is very useful, especially if something went wrong. You don't want to know what is exact query it is running. So you can go to here and then do your debug. After learning that the two simple models from example, then let's try to create our own data model from the scratch. So let's first go to the models directory and create a new subfolder. We call it, we are going to use the Snowflake demo data. So then that's called the Snowflake demo data. And in this file, under this in this folder, we will create a new file. First, let's go to say what's the Snowflake sample data it has. If we go to this sample data, it has a lot of the, like, for example, customers, and also inventory item. Let's do that to the customers first. So customers has number of that, a lot of data, number of rows. No, not customers. So it's have 100 million rows, which, and it is very big. So we don't need to select all when we create data model. Let's say customers. We are going to back to the DBT, and we create a first model. Here we are going to use some like convention to name our data model to make it easier to recognize. So normally we will use the Snowflake your project, your data model name, demo and underscore, and we make customers as the SQL. Okay, and here we want to use that some like, let's just select with part 1,000 customers, 1,000 as, okay, we will select from this table name. This is a schema, snowflake, after looking at the two data model provided in the example, let's build our own data model from scratch. So let's go to the snowflake and say that the data in here, this is one database. It is in the database snowflake sample data, and the schema in this schema are TPCH SF10. Let's say that those tables, so those take customers, items, and supplier orders. So which it looks like it is related with the sales. Okay, let's say we want to create a bunch of data models related with the sales. And then we can here we create under these models we create a subfolder used as a group name. So in this group, let's create called sales snowflake sales. So in this is in this group snowflake sales, we will create a bunch of data model. Let's just create the first one. So let's name it as the customers first. So snowflake, the name convention I would mention here is we use that group name snowflake sales and underscore, then that the table name customer.SQL, and we can say like with all sales as select all from this is it should be the database name and the schema name and the table name. So let's look at here. Customers. So here place name in this one. And then we select okay, let's say sales, select final as select all from the sales, and then select all from final. Let's save it, and then let's go to the DBT run. We should be able to see another models here. As I say, we see 3 models. 2 is from the example. The third one, it is that the data model customers, which we build by ourselves. And if we goes to the Snowflake database, this one, we should be able to see another views here. You see customers, this one, it is from here. Why it is a view, not in the table, which is because that the project level setup is materialized as a view. Okay, if we goes to here, we compare that data with the compiled. Let's compare them. It looks like exactly the same, right? So actually when we build the data model, we don't like to, we will not write exactly as the compiled, because in this way, this is like we didn't fully use DBT tool YAML file configuration. So what we're going to do is that in this group, in this Snowflake sales group, I will create a schema YAML file, and then in all that the data models can share this schema. So, and also we don't need to remember for each data model, we don't need to remember that the database name, schema name, and table name. Let's see how we're going to use that one, and then we will change this data model definition. Let's create another file which is called schema.yaml file. How to write this one? There is some like example that we can show. I would just use this one, like tables. Let's copy this one here, and I will just remove all that unnecessary, not necessary. I will just use that the all necessary for this data model currently. This name we call name is just call sales. Okay, Snowflake sales. And the database was the database name we're using. We used this database name. No, database name, and we use the schema. This is the schema we are using. And we don't need this one. And let's go directly go to the tables. And we can put some description here. What description is that the snowflake sales data including customers, sale or orders and suppliers, but not including but not limited to. So while we are writing description here, description will then it will be used for the documentation. And the tables, what we're using the tables here, we just use the table the customer, right? So we just put top customers, and that's it. We just want to that's all we need. And then in this data model we can change this one here, it as source. What's the source? So first the source name, which one is the source name? This is the source name. And then the second we shows that the table name. So table this is the table name we have. And then let's run it again. Oh, I see. So this one, the first, it should be the string. Sales, customers. Right again. It found 3 models. One, it is failed. Sample data doesn't exist. We will say, yeah, here's the problem here. Database is called sample data. Like, so let's do it again. Very well. Now this time we are successful, and let's go back to here to this target compiled data to see how it looks like. And we can say this one, yeah. So those are exactly the same, and the compiler just compile this one, transfer this information to this information. So this compiled information, which is that the one we can run directly from the Snowflake.